We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Michael Paul.
And I'm John.
No, John, alongside me, of course. And I've got a few things I want to talk about. No, we're not going to do weed. We're going to talk about things.
Yeah.
What I would usually do at the end, I want to do at the beginning here and end. I have a specific purpose in doing this at the beginning instead of the end, and that is I want to send my love and say hi to all my girls: Mackenzie, Megan, Crystal, Christy, Caitlin. I love you all. I love every one of you. I would normally do that at the end, but I have a specific reason that I wanted to do this in the beginning, and that is because I wanted to say, Megan, I don't know what happened, honey. I don't know what is going on with your leg. I don't know how it happened, but whatever happened, honey, I hope you feel better. Okay, and I hope for you. I pray for you. Please know that I wrote to you on your message thing there. I don't know if you got it or not, but regardless of whether you got it or not, regardless of whether you write back to me or not, just know that my thoughts, my prayers, and most of all, my love are with you. Okay? Now, that being said, somebody, John, mentioned some things about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to let him do that because honestly, I will just tell you, I didn't care much for it. I saw there were a few things I thought were more exciting than Raw, but I will, excuse me, I'm going to save my voice and let John touch on Raw before I say anything else. Go ahead.
The reason is why Michael Paul is right about one thing, because like most people think that Raw was a good show, but like people turning on their team, like look at John Morrison. He got hurt by his former best friend, his tag partner, the It Factor, The Miz. And people were booing The Miz. Like I can hear the chorus of boos, just like what the late great Gorilla Monsoon said. You can listen to these chorus of boos, but people are turning on against each other. Let's say that I would say face and Michael Paul was a heel.
Okay.
And I say, like, turn face and we can work together. And then he said, no, I'd rather be a heel. I work alone, so back away from me. I'm just using that for example.
Mm-hmm.
But Miz turned on his friend who won the SmackDown Tag Team Champions when it was the WWE Tag Team Champions all the way back in 2007 until what happened last night on Raw. And I'm still mad about what happened to my man, not in a gay way, but to my fair wrestler who came back, reformed the tag team with The Miz. And John Morrison, I hope you're watching this. I hope you're okay. Now let's get on to Dewdrop with Eva Marie. So I'm going to give the floor to Michael Paul for his fair wrestler Dewdrop. Take it away, Michael.
That whole thing is so ridiculous. I didn't even pay it any attention. The whole show in itself, the whole WWE product in itself is just becoming a joke. However, I did think it was kind of nice. It was great because it was short, sweet, and to the point. The brief interaction between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, which tells you Alexa is going to be the next challenger for Charlotte Flair, and that'll probably happen at Extreme Rules, which, by the way, is September 26th, exclusively on Peacock. And that, again, is going back to Sunday, not on a Saturday like SummerSlam.
Because SummerSlam was only for a Sunday pay-per-view, but the reason is why they had that on a Saturday so they can have more time for NXT TakeOver 36.
Good for them. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't care much for Raw, and here's why. Because, well, number one, let's rewind the clock 48 hours and go back to SummerSlam, which, ladies and gentlemen, how I've missed saying this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Paul, and it is my pleasure, privilege, and honor to tell you in no uncertain terms that this past Saturday night at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, in front of a live worldwide television audience of billions upon billions, SummerSlam 2021 saw the return of the beast incarnate, the pride of the University of Minnesota, and honestly, the best thing to happen to WWE since Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock returned also SummerSlam earlier that night, prior to Brock's return, also saw the return of the man. Yeah, the man is back. She the man still, Becky Lynch. And in 30 seconds after an impromptu challenge was thrown out and accepted, not even 30 seconds, Becky Lynch, after an almost year-long layoff, is now your reigning, defending WWE SmackDown Women's Champion.
Now, you remember that match when we had it with Ronda Rousey when she came to the WWE, when it was her. It was the same match that she won the SmackDown Women's Champion from. And then we have Charlotte, who's now the same champion. But we don't want to see that match. We don't want to see that match never again. But that match was pretty cool back in 2019. But
what match is this?
The WrestleMania 35 match with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda.
Oh, yeah.
But that match was pretty lit, but we don't want to see another Becky and Charlotte match. We need to see somebody else. Like, Becky will be taking on them. Well, if somebody did come back to the WWE for one night and one night only.
Back or come back?
Huh?
If somebody did came back or somebody did come back.
If somebody did come back, it would be Jacqueline.
Well, I think Jacqueline's retired.
Yeah, but if she ever came back, she'll probably win the match.
But she looks like she could still kick ass.
Oh, of course she still kicks ass because, dude, she's a fucking Hall of Famer.
Because, she and Rodney Mack are married, right?
That's Jazz and Rodney Mack.
Oh, Jazz and Rodney Mack.
Rodney.
Okay.
You're thinking about when Jacqueline was with the Acolytes, the APA.
See, I'm getting Jacqueline, Jazz, and Rodney Mack all confused because, I don't know, for some reason, to me...
Jackie and Jazz did have a match with each other one time.
I think they did, yeah. Oh, Jazz very briefly came back during an Impact pay-per-view not that long ago, but I think that was just a one-night thing. Also, I don't want to put a damper on this, but I do have to, unfortunately, change course here and add some sad news
And then let me say something before you say some sad news. Before Michael Paul has something to say about some sad news, AEW has CM Punk. But
oh yes, CM Punk has finally come to AEW. Unfortunately, I didn't forget about the show, but I missed it because I went to bed, so I didn't get to see Punk's opening promo. But I'm trying to find it on YouTube.
You guys on AEW have Punk. We on WWE, well, Michael Paul likes him, but some of us don't. We have Brock Lesnar. Y'all have CM Punk. Now, don't disrespect us because we do like CM Punk at AEW. Anywho, I'm going to get the floor to Michael Paul. It's on the segments, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm have to change course here. I do have some sad news. Anyone who knows me knows that from the time I was probably 7 years old, if not a little younger than that. Well, Michael, of course, was always my all-time favorite artist. My all-time favorite group has always been the Rolling Stones. You asked me if you asked me in the old debate, the Beatles or Stones, I always take the Stones. Anyway, that's why I tell you I have some sad news because Charlie Watts, who is not only a Rolling Stones member, but also did some music in his own right under his own name um, with some jazz labels, but is probably best known as the drummer for the Rolling Stones for the last, I don't know, 25, 30 years, if not maybe a little bit more. Unfortunately, this morning at 82 years old, Charlie Watts has passed away. Now, coincidentally, the Stones, shut up. The Stones are, sorry, that's my computer I was talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing about. That.
The Stones were about to start a tour pretty soon to promote and celebrate the 40th anniversary reissue of Tattoo You. 2, 3 weeks ago, Charlie had already said in a statement that he had not been planning to go on this tour, but now that, but now that Charlie has passed away, I'm wondering, are they going to cancel the tour or are they going to make it a anniversary tribute? Are they going to make the tour a tribute to Charlie? Which, in my mind, that would, of course, anybody can, it's, just throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks. Just anybody can have an opinion, take it or leave it, whatever. But in my opinion, the best option would be to go ahead with the tour and make the tour a tribute to Charlie and a remembrance to Charlie. Also, not to downplay that, but if I could get to one other note from SummerSlam before we say goodnight here, I really think I don't know if he was in on it or not, but I really think it was disrespectful of Vince McMahon and the WWE writing team to not so much to have John Cena lose to Roman Reigns, but the way that they did it was not okay. They could have had Roman pin him, help Cena up, have Roman and Cena shake hands, embrace her fist bump, and leave it at that. Instead, these people don't need a demonstration. They're not stupid. They know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, instead, what they did is the referee counted 3, handed the belt to Roman. He, had his moment. The audience was booing. In the meantime, off to the side, John just kind of slid out of the ring, and just kind of quietly went back to the dressing room. which to me, especially if that was his last match, after everything John's done for WWE for the last, what is it?
He's a 16-time world champion,
Well,
like Ric Flair.
16-time world champion, there you go. And Cena for the last, 18 some years, after everything he did for the WWE, they should be doing a big thank you celebration for John Cena. And they went the route of, instead of thank you, they said fuck you. And that was not right. That was such a blatant show of disrespect to John Cena. And though that may not be the way he wanted to go out, I would have that be my last match for this simple reason. If Vince calls me to fight again, I would say, you know what, Vince? Remember SummerSlam when you basically kicked me to the curb and disrespected me and spit in my face? After the blatant lack of respect you showed to me, why should give me one reason why I should do anything for you? And for that reason alone, I would not step into the ring again. Okay, because there was such a lack of respect shown on their part that there's no reason he should put himself out and put his body on the line to do anything for them. So, as big of a WWE fan as I am, Mr. McMahon, that was a very disrespectful way to let one of your biggest stars leave. With, instead of a thank you, you gave him a fuck you, and that just was not right. Other than that, like I said, in my opinion, this tour should be made a Charlie Watts tribute. Whether that will happen or not remains to be seen. And unless John has anything, I know what I wanted to say. My point in bringing up Becky and Brock is that now with those two coming in, and from the disaster of a show that I saw on Raw yesterday, the disaster of a show that I saw on Raw yesterday, it looks like things are going to pick up there, and SmackDown will start to be the better show, and it will be SmackDown that will be must-see viewing instead of Monday. But that's just my opinion. So, John, back to you if you have anything else. And again, Megan, sorry you're hurting. I don't know what happened, but my thoughts and prayers are with you. I love you. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so like what Michael Paul is saying, that people need to like figure out why they're making John Cena lose to my mom's favorite wrestler, but like we do care, like y'all care for Cena and y'all care for Reigns. Mike right here cares about Brock Lesnar because that's his favorite wrestler of all time since 2002 or something.
I think that's when Brock first came in. Yes, 2002.
So yeah, if you want to see more details, tune in to SmackDown this Friday night, and we'll find out why Michael Paul is saying that SmackDown is better than Raw.
No, I said it will be.
It will be better than Raw.
Simply because of those two, that's why.
Hey, you want to do some like
Brock and Becky?
Some funny outros or something?
Some funny what?
Outros. You just did something right there. You said funny what? Don't get too shanky about something, dude.
Hey,
what?
Listen, if you've got some kind of problem down by your shanky, that's not my problem. I can't help you.
Okay.
Hey, if your shanky itches, I ain't gonna scratch it. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'll catch you later on Pokemon.